कल्पना और हकीकत में एक छोटे से शब्द का फर्क होता है और वो फर्क है दृढ़ निश्चय यानी कि डिटर्मिनेशन। और जो शख्स इस शब्द का फासला तय कर लेता है, इतिहास सदा के लिए अपने पन्नों पर उसका नाम जोड़ देता है। नमस्कार, आदाब, सत श्री अकाल, केम छो। मैं करण मेहता आप सभी का स्वागत करता हूं लेजेंड्स ऑफ डिजाइन के एक और नए एपिसोड में। लेजेंड्स ऑफ डिजाइन एक ऐसा शो जो हमारे आर्किटेक्चर इंडस्ट्री के दिग्गजों को सलाम करता है। दोस्तों, हम सभी ने कामयाबी की अलग अलग परिभाषाएं सुनी होगी, लेकिन मेरे लिए कामयाबी की सिर्फ एक ही परिभाषा है और वो है अतुलनीय साहस। कामयाब इंसान वो नहीं जिसने कभी मुश्किलों का सामना ना किया हो, बल्कि कामयाब इंसान वो है जो 1000 बार गिरकर भी अगली बार उठने का अतुलनीय साहस रखता हो। दोस्तों, आर्किटेक्चर की दुनिया मेरे लिए एक हसीन फिल्म की तरह है और मेरी इस फिल्म के हीरो है आज के हमारे गेस्ट। हमारे आज के मेहमान ने बॉम्बे को मुंबई बनते हुए अपनी आंखों के सामने देखा है, या यूं कहे कि बॉम्बे को मुंबई बनाने में उनका बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण योगदान है। He is the recipient of the most prestigious Padma Bhushan and also more than 75 national and international awards for his excellent contribution in the field of architecture. He is known for his path-breaking designs, sheer hard work and passion for architecture. He is a hero of a million hearts and also the hero of the next generation architects who aspire to become like him one day. लेकिन आज के हमारे इस मेहमान को इस स्टेज पे बुलाने के पहले आइए देखते हैं उनकी एक छोटी सी झलक। So may I now call upon the hero of the entire architecture industry, Mr. Hafeez Contractor. Hafeez sir, welcome to Legends of Designs, and I am really thankful and honored that you have come here today to shoot with us.
Pleasure is all mine.
Sir, we have these young people out here who are probably, seeing you as their, inspiration. Sir, while I was researching about you on this talk show, we got an opportunity to meet a lot of your office people. One thing that they have said is you are still passionate about your architecture and your work. So at this age, what is the secret that this passion, this energy, where does it come from?
It's architecture has been, I would say, my first love, or it's just not love. It's my pastime. When I was studying at, in school, I always used to draw sketches, and sketches means I used to draw buildings.
True.
I used to draw bikes, guns. I used to design them.
Okay.
And that was my pastime.
Okay. Sir, there are a few interesting stories about your childhood, and all of us here want to know, how were you as a child?
As a kid, I won't go to school, and to send me to school, my mother, if she puts me with some guy to take me to the school, I'll run away or something like that. So they used to put me in a topla. You know what's a topla?
Gamela, the topla.
That big one.
Yes.
So, and they'll put me in that. That fellow will lift it, put it on his head, and take me to the school.
Oh my God.
Because if he took me on his back also, I would jump or I would do something. But once I'm in a topla, I can't jump. So that was how I used to be taken to school. I have never been a good reader, or I was never a good student in school.
Sir, how are your schooling days? And after your school, what really changed your life?
What really changed my life, or I would say so, uh, when we used to have SSC, I started studying from science, geography, everything from fifth standard. I studied, and finally, at SSC level, I got some 36 or 39 or 40%.
What are you saying?
Yes, yes, yes.
Is it true?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just got that. And when I went to show my mark sheet to uh, my principal, no, my vice principal, he says, "Oh my God, this is like distinction. You got distinction." And he says, first thing he says, "Go to Agyari and
Prasad chada ke aao.
so that is how I okay. That is how I got through my SSC. Okay, my principal called me, Mr. Bejan Desai. He was just not a teacher, but he was a great soul. He was like a father figure. And so he called me and he says, "Dikra, I know what you have been doing all this time, and I have been taking care of you. Now it's not in my hand. Now you have to get up and rise to the occasion, and now the life is in your hand. Study, do this, do that." And mind you, that 5 minutes of talk really changed my life.
Sir, moving forward, how did architecture happen to you?
I remember uh, when I was in my third standard or fourth standard, it was an English class, and my teacher, Mrs. Bharucha, she was a lady, Parsi lady, married to Mr. Gupta. And at that time, we used to get thrashing with anybody is not doing anything. The teacher would thrash us with, she used to thrash us with a big ruler.
Stick.
No, ruler.
Okay.
Ruler. And so she saw me drawing that something. I don't know what I was drawing. And she fadafat trashed me. And she said, "You're a useless student, this, that, not studying and all that." But she said, "But remember one thing, when you grow up, become an architect." Now, I have two of my cousins, both are architects, and I was interested in architecture. By the time I had known what architecture is, but then I was advised by one of my uncle that, see, architectural education is very, very expensive and this, that. And my mother was a school teacher getting a salary of 60 rupees. So he says she would not be able to afford it. So I said, okay. But forget all that. When I went to architectural college, there was only two colleges. I knew only of one,
Okay.
JJ.
JJ.
They won't even give me the form. It says, this much. So my first option was that I wanted to join the army. And I had applied to Kharakwas
National Defense Academy. Yeah.
And I got my letter that, I should come over there. And I was a very good NCC student. But my aunt, that is my Fui, without telling me, tore off the letter and threw it in the dustbin and never told me. And I came to know after about 10, 15 days that the letter had come and I'd already missed the date. So, and when I asked her, "Why did you do that?" It says, "I'm the only son of my mother. My father died before I was born." She said, "Oh, I did not want my, brother's son to go in the army and this." So I said, okay. So then the next option for me was I said, okay, I'll join the police force. But my mother requested me that don't join the police force like that. Do your graduation and then join. In school, I was a very good sportsman. I was very good at games. I used to always get junior championship, 100 meters run, 500 meters, all of that, high
Okay.
jump, this, that. I got my admission in Jain College because I had taken 2 bags of my certificates in
Okay.
sports.
Oh.
And he says, what is this? I said, these are my certificates. So that's how I went to Jain College.
Okay.
And they would also not give me the admission, but because of all those certificates of mine, they gave me the admission. At that time, the second language was French.
Correct.
And all the Parsi girls and all the girls were talking in French in that class, and I did not even know 2 words. So I took up German because that was everybody was starting. And unfortunately, the German teacher died.
Oh.
So they said, oh, you can join French or we'll return your fees. Go back to any other college. I said, who the hell is going to give me admission? So I said, okay, I'll take French. Now, I used to go to my cousin's office. He was an architect. His wife was very good at French. So I used to go to his office to learn French. Now, one day he was not there. My cousin was not there. His wife, Zareen, was not there. So he was in a small office. I think he had about 2 or 3 people only. So I saw one of the guys drawing a window detail. I asked that guy and I says, I thought Barish hai. He was a Gujarati boy. He says, yeah, Barish hai. So I said, this won't open. So he says, Tamune kya malum? So I said that this has been my pastime and your window won't open. So he said, no, it will open. So I said, come on, let's take a bet. So we took a bet. And when my cousin came, so I said, Temas, we have a bet. Will this window open? I told him it won't open. And so he says, Are, I thought gadero છે. બીજો એને કઈ આવડતું નથી. તને કેમ માલમ? Means, how do you know?
How do you know?
So I said, but this has been my pastime, and I know it. So he said, okay, you draw it. So I drew it. My abbreviations were different, but my detailing was right. So he says, then he says, can you design a 2-bedroom house? So I said, I used to design forts, and I have another friend, now he's in America. We used to design forts, and then both of us will play, oh, I'll attack you from here, and then I'll say, no, I have this. So that was our school time pass. So I designed that 2-bedroom house in 2 minutes, and I gave it to him. So then he drew an axonometric. I didn't know at that time what was it. It's a view from top. So I said, upparthi joy to. He says, can you draw it? I said, of course. I drew it. So he said, stop everything, join architecture today. Okay. Then I said, there was nobody is giving me even the forms. So then he's asking that boy, tu kai college mein jais? So he said, Academy of Architecture.
Okay.
There was another college. And then I have another cousin, this Temas Kharekar, he just expired about, I think, 2 months back. So, and I used to stay with him only. Temas called up Dinyar Wadia. Now, he is another architect, cousin of mine, who is practicing and has got fabulous office and practice in America. And he designs the most expensive houses in New Canaan. Okay. So he called up Dinyar and said, Dinyar, can you get Hafeez admission into architectural college anyhow? So he called up a guy called Mr. Homi Dallas. He was the president of Indian Institute of Architects. And Mr. Homi Dallas wrote a letter, a beautiful letter, to Mr. Vandrekar, who was the director of Academy of Architecture. That, I know this boy since the time he was born. And if you give him admission, I assure you, he'll be a good architect. I never met him. But he knew our family. With that letter, I went to Mr. Vandrekar, and Mr. Vandrekar is looking at my marks, and I can't give you the form with this kind of marks. So he said, okay, I'll do one thing. I'll give you the form. If you get good marks in your entrance exam, I'll take you. In entrance exam, I got A plus. Okay. Now in school, out of 8 or 9 subjects, I always used to fail in 6 or 7.
Okay.
And I'll be re-examined after my vacation. And my Masi, in my that vacation, she will teach me, yeah, this, that, with a stick.
With the same ruler.
No, she used to have in Navsari, we used to have that nice big stick.
Chadi.
And I'll get through. So when I went to my first year architecture, I said, my God, they started teaching us sciography, plan. So I said, oh, I upar thi jo hai to plan, section. I used to say, I kape to I this. Everything what I was doing, they were teaching now.
Correct.
And where I used to be standing, second or third from the rear in the school, I started standing first class first.
Wow.
Because everything, and the only thing that
got promoted.
the only thing and then history of architecture and all of that. Yes, we had the only subject that I had to really study was mechanics.
Okay.
And mind you, all throughout my 7 years, we had 7 years part-time course. I used to be going to the college in the morning, 7 o'clock or 7:30 or something like that was the call. It used to get over at 9:30. From Barda, the classes were at Barda. From there we will walk, come to my office. It means I started working. I started working before I joined college.
Okay.
Yeah. I started working before and my first salary was 30 rupees a month.
This is seriously unbelievable. I mean,
no, but it was 1968. Most of you must not have been born, okay?
Yeah.
All of you must not have been born.
None of us, actually.
So 30 rupees, and I used to be working from morning till night. So my boss, my cousin, gave me an increment, 50 rupees. The first. So that's how I started. When our submissions were there, everyone would be told, oh, you'll be doing this. Submissions would be on this paper, so much size. And everyone will make a model this size. My models would be 10 feet by 10 feet. I would take a truck and my models will be there. And they will give me a complete new classroom to exhibit just my work. All other boys will be making 10 drawings and 20 drawings. I will come with 120 or 30 drawings, 4 feet by 8 feet. And that's how my submissions would be there. And finally, I stood first class for 1 year. I stood first in the class, but second class. And that was a time, it was after 4th year. And I was busy with something else. Okay. And now all this is done. In the final year, out of 200 in design, I got 196. And at that time, Academy of Architecture and JJ both got together, and they had hired Jahangir Art Gallery to show all my works from first year to the 7th year.
Lovely.
So that whole week, the exhibition was there.
Of your work?
Yes. Now, I'd applied for Columbia University. It's quite an expensive. I remember our fees were some $12,000 a year, and I had to take a loan to go.
Columbia.
So my exhibition was there, and that's where Mr. Dallas comes.
Okay.
And he had examined us for professional practice and all those kind of things. And he's asking me, so now what are you going to do? So I said, sir, I'm thinking of going abroad. So he asked me, what is my father doing? So I said, I don't have a father. My father died before.
He passed away. Yeah.
And so he asked me about, and I said, my mother is a school teacher. So he point blank asked me, who's your guarantor? Because he knew
because
that
it's an expensive loan. Yeah.
yeah. I remember I'd taken a loan of about 70 or 80,000 or something like that.
Those days.
So I said, I don't have a guarantor. She says, come with your form tomorrow to my office. Now, mind you, I went with my form and like a fool, I'd not even filled my name, I'd not even filled my amount for how much I want the guarantee. So he's looking at the form and then he's telling, Tarun, means, he asked me in Gujarati, what is your name? So I told, so he wrote my name and without writing an amount, he signed as a guarantor and he gave me the form. Then I said, sir, you haven't written the amount. He said, write any amount, I am your guarantor.
That is so, unbelievable and uncommon these days. You don't get such people anymore.
No, of course. So with that, I went abroad. Now, though I was a very, very hardworking student, Colombia, to be, I would say that it really demanded tremendous amount of work. And not only work in drawing and design, they had so many other subjects which I was not good at. Like they had, architecture and law, they had architecture and finance. Now all those, were like mechanics. But with a lot of luck and hard work, we got through.
Hafeez sir, there was a general trend in your days of people going abroad and settling there, but you chose to come back to our own country. Is there any specific reason?
This is a nice story. Everybody thought that I will settle down over there. When I was going for my visa, the American consulate guy is looking at me and says, hey, you're not going to come back. So I said, sir, I know that your country is a superb country, beautiful, very rich, but I love my country more than your country, and I'm definitely going to come back. And mind you, in that 1 year, what I'd seen of America, I myself knew that if I stay in America for 2 or 3 days more after graduation, I'll never come back. So I graduated in the afternoon. I caught a flight in the night. That same night, left to get away from that temptation of settling in America. No, United States of America, my dear. And came back. Joined that same firm of mine and started work again. So that's how I start.
That's really an interesting journey. I must really, thank you for sharing this with us. So, sir, after coming back, how were your initial days in your practice? Can you please explain us?
Okay, I started working with my cousin again. And at that time, it was a small office. We used to get 1 or 2 jobs a year, small jobs. And one of our most biggest client was Goani. And some other Sindhi clients were also there. I used to come to office. I remember one great incident. When there was no peon in the office, I was the peon. When my cousin is not there, I'm the boss. When the typist is not there, I'm the typist.
So you're a one-man army.
And I should do everything. Means, somebody will say, oh, I don't even know typing. No, I used to go down, get the letter typed and come up. So I would be coming to office at 7 o'clock. I would leave my office by 12:15. The last bus to Gwalior Tank would be at 12:15. I will take that bus
Okay.
and I would go back to my house. So that was my routine. People would come and give us a job. I remember Tejraj Govani, okay? He was a very, very big client at that time. And Tejraj would call me and say, Hafeez, don't go home early. I'm coming with a job. He'll come and give us a job at 5:30 in the evening. And he said, I want the submission drawings by tomorrow morning. So I would be sitting, designing the building, making the submission drawings, and getting the letter typed, signed for my boss. My boss had allowed me to sign for him, and submit the drawings by next morning. But the condition was that he will get the approval by 3 o'clock the next day.
Oh.
Today, if I tell somebody that we used to get approvals in one day, everybody
No one
will
would
be
believe.
everybody will be shocked. So that is how I used to do, and I started doing interiors. That time, interiors was I used to do a lot of interiors and buildings, and the first job that I got one day, Kamal Hatkar is a very, very famous structural designer, and he called me up and said that, hey Hafeez, there is a very nice new builder in town, and I saw the plans that they had made. I think you better go and meet him, and you should do that job. So I said, okay. So I went and met that client. His name is Om Prakash Nawani.
Okay.
Om Chambers at Camps Corner.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so that was a building, and I went. It was, I think, Friday, and before he came, I saw the plans, and I saw the site also. Now, Om Prakash Nawani is a Sindhi gentleman, and I knew that, if I talk to him about how can I tell him about good architecture, he will not have a faith on me. But I said, when he came, I said, sir, I'll do this, and I'll give you more shopping. I'll give you so much more shopping. And that itself would give him so many crores of lakhs ka profit. So he said, but I can't wait. So I said, see, sir, today is Friday. He said, yeah, I can wait up to Monday, 3 o'clock. I went back to my office and I told my cousin that, oh, I got the job. I have to submit on Monday. He says, oh, you will never get the job. Come on, forget it. That time there were no computers. So Friday night. Saturday night. Sunday night. Monday at about 9:30, 10, I sent all those drawings for blueprinting. But that time there was no helper, nothing. I was the only guy in the office. Yeah. Plans, sections, perspectives. There was no perspective. We had to draw freehand. I went home, had a sleep, had my lunch, came back, and went to him and presented the drawings. He loved it. He gave me the job. That's how I got the first job.
So you didn't sleep for 4 days.
Means I must have slept for an hour and a half in the office. And where I slept also, I remember we used to have a ledge between the one side of the office and the other side. So at that time we used to sit on stools and draft. Now, take out the stool cup pillow, put it on that, sleep on the floor. That's all.
I think, sir, hard work is in your DNA. So really, it's worth appreciating. Hafeez sir, you're known to be a client-friendly architect. Is there a specific approach or a reason?
This was when I was in the second year, and I remember we had a job of designing a bungalow. And there was a lady from Pune. She wanted to design us her house. And she gave us a job. We designed something. She came after a week and we presented. And I remember we had designed the house, with barrel walls and all that. And it was a very nice contemporary design. And she said, Mr. Karigat, I don't think this is, I would like to have something different. So he said, okay, we'll design something else. And we designed another house. After 1 week, she again came and she saw it and she says, oh, this is not what I want. And she opened her purse and took out a photograph of a bungalow. It was from a house and garden, a typical old-fashioned pitch roof, bougainvilleas going on, nice small windows. And she said that, I would like to have a house like that. And my cousin said, this is not modern architecture, this is not this. The long and short of it is, I'm standing behind my boss and I'm wondering, she wants this and we are wanting to give her this. And she politely closed that photograph again in her purse and she left. We never got the job. So after she left, I told my cousin, Temas, why aren't we giving that? He said, this is not architecture, this is not. But I said, she wants this. So he says, shut up. I kept mum. That was at the back of my mind. Why am I telling you this story? Because I want the younger kids to know about it. As an architect, my cousin was right. He wanted to give something. The client wanted something else. And so when I started my practice, I never forced upon any client that, no, you must do this.
True.
I always thought that as an architect, you should be capable of giving. If the client wants a very, very economic design, you should be capable of giving it. He wants something really flamboyant, you should be capable of giving it. And you should just not say, no, I only do this. So this is the way I practice today. And I feel that as an architect, you are trained, you guide them in the right way, but give them what they want.
Correct. Hafeez sir, do you really believe in being at the right time at the right place?
100%, 100%. If you're not there, and you have to make it up that you find out which is the right place.
True.
And where to be at
Correct.
the right time.
Correct.
And after that, just being there won't solve. Then give him the best, give him in the best time, give him in the best price. All of that combined will get you, how you get marks in one question, 5 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 9, and then you will get a distinction, and then so you have to be everything.
Correct.
Now, this is another story which is also a little different. Now, there somebody might say that, oh, I was dishonest. Okay. We were doing one building for a guy called, Ramchandra Agarwalji. It was a very nice client. We had done some other buildings for him also. He suddenly had to go abroad, and he said that I have sold my plot to one client. And he says, "Jum jaake usko mil ke aao, wo aapko kaam denga." Now, so we called him up. So he says, "Jo bhi aapne kaam kiya hai, dikhane ke liye leke aao." Now we had done only one building, Ananta, at Rajab Ali Patel Road. So we took out all the photographs, some 8-10 photographs. And I, along with my cousin, we went to meet him. I showed him one photograph. My cousin was standing, but I was taking the lead. I showed him one. He's looking at the photograph and he says, "Chha." He threw the photograph. He didn't like that. I showed him another photograph because we had only one building with different angles.
True.
He's looking at it, "Chha." Like that, 3, 4, 5 photographs, he just kept on doing che, che. Now, luckily, one photograph was kept upside down, not with intention. God.
Right place, right time.
And I gave it, and I also gave it by mistake upside down. So my cousin is about to say something. So I held his hand and I said, keep mum. Now, all trees on top, building hanging from top, sky down below, and he is looking at it and he says, "Yeah, बहुत अच्छा है." And on that we got the job.
Amazing.
On that we got the job. So
Every architect would wish कि मुझे ऐसा ही client मिले.
So, see, these are things that you sometimes you have to keep yourself mum. The guy, what I'm trying to say, to get a job, you have to
Maneuver.
and get it. So, getting the job is the first thing. Okay, another story. When we were studying at Columbia they give you the handout, means that you're going to submit this on this day, this on this day, this on this day. And no teacher will say, oh, today is the submission, come on, where is the submission? As soon as you enter the class, you're supposed to submit that and then sit for the class. And he'll take it and then he'll mark it in. One day, I remember I was working in the class. It was about 12:30 in the night. And that day I'd finished my work a little early. So I went to my room, went to sleep. Our teacher, Stan Extai, very tough guy, very, very tough guy. I haven't seen a teacher tougher than him. He came at about 12:30 and gave a program that you're going to do this, do this, do this. And submission time is tomorrow, 8:30 in the morning.
Oh.
Okay? Some 2 or 3 boys were still in the class. They saw it and they did it. And whoever went to the classroom by 7:30 or whatever he could do, they did it. So I went aram se, I reached the classroom at about 8 or 8:30, whatever and I'm seeing everybody running around. And I say, hey, what's happening? He says, Stan came last night and gave a program and he said that you're supposed to submit it. I said, that's not fair. Huh? So I went to Stan and I said, Stan, you came last night at about 12:30. I just left and this. He says, Hafeez, don't worry. It's okay. So I said, thank you. I thought, he says, don't thank me. You get a 0 in that. So I said, why? So he said this line. Remember, Hafeez, there was a job going in town. And you are not there, you don't get the job. The same way, you are not there, you didn't do it, you get a 0. So, you have to be at the right place at the right time. So that's another line that I'll never ever forget.
Forget in your life.
But the first thing is, be there.
Be there. Being there is the first step. So, sir, while we are speaking a couple of things about clients, we got an opportunity to meet a few clients of yours.
Oh.
And let's see and let's show our audience what they have to say about you.
Oh.
Hi, I'm Abhishek Lodha. I'm Managing Director of Lodha Developers. Mr. Contractor has been someone who I've known or heard of as a child, because obviously he is India's iconic architect, the architect who sort of pervades the public memory. The first time I met him was probably in 2005, but I still remember that day going to his office in Fort, walking up the stairs and then to that table on which he even sits now, and with him with his sketching paper in front of him. He looked up, very warmly said hello, and then spoke about the project and the brief. It was me, a young 25-year-old who hadn't really ever worked with him, and we were not a big company at that point in time. And this was a legend, Padma Bhushan Hafeez Contractor, and yet he was so humble, so open, and wanted to listen and spend time. And that's really, what my understanding of Hafeez Contractor is. He's a man of great talent, great achievements, but an immensely likable man because he's so humble, never egoistic, and always willing to be a partner. So Hafeez Bhai is that to me. From Mr. Contractor, he's now Hafeez Bhai, and he is just that, an amazing man who has great achievements but is also a great human being. Mr. Contractor, I'm told, started his practice sometime in the 70s. And today, almost 40 plus, almost 50 years now, he's been at the top of his game. And the reason I think that he's been so relevant, so commendable, so much at the top of his game is because he's always open to learning. And that learning mind, that humility combined with that learning mind is what I really believe has kept him so high at the top of his very profession and honored by the Padma Bhushan because of these qualities. I wish Hafeez Bhai the very best for many, many years in the future. This is India's time. Amrit Kal has just started, and I hope that Hafeez Bhai, at least till 2047, keeps designing even better and more amazing buildings and structures and keeps inspiring all Indians to achieve ever greater heights just like he has.
Architect Hafeez Contractor is a genius of design. A man of humble beginnings, humble but great humility, willingness to always listen, create beautiful things which are second to none in the world. A man who has not only created history in Mumbai, but the geography of Mumbai. An entire change in terms of what has been beautiful skyline has been having the stamp of architect Hafeez Contractor. He is having a voracious appetite to create beautiful buildings. So today I can only wish him the very best in creativity now that he's going to do a paradigm shift in the Dharavi redevelopment program done by Adani's. Want to see beautiful creativity once again.
Hello, I'm Deepak Goradia, Chairman, Dosti Realty Limited, operating mainly in Mumbai. We know Hafeez sir since more than 25 years. When we met him first time in his office, it was a great experience for the first time, such a joyful person and down to earth. His concept of open office, sharing all the drawings with our client and interacting with the staff and teamwork with our team is wonderful. His understanding in-depth knowledge of various locations across Mumbai, across India, various cities, what is the market demand, how type of design customer would accept. Secondly, whenever he is having any idea, he immediately calls at any point of time, Deepak bhai, let us change, let us work on this will be more acceptable. And then he immediately within 2 days comes out with the alternate designs also promptly. That's something which is very, very exceptional. And the acceptance of the market of his design is nowhere comparable to anybody. And that is the reason of his super success. He's bestowed with Padma Bhushan by Government of India. And this is a really proud moment, not only for him, for the entire industry. I wish Hafeez sir best of the health, long life, and continue designing in years to come.
Hello, I'm Surendra Hirnandani. I have known Mr. Hafeez Contractor, Architect Hafeez, since over 38 years, 39 years, and I'm very close to him. And we met in his office in Fountain, in Fort, where he had only about, I think, 3 staff at that time, 3 staff members. The real reason why you would want to know is why we found him so special is that as a person, his attitude to his work, his attitude to his clients, his concern for the end user is unique. And he doesn't have any airs. Humble to grounded and ready to discuss any issue at any level. The beauty about Hafeez is that he has not changed. He's still the same. Even after for almost 40 years as I've seen him, he's not changed a bit. He is the same, with the same drive, the same enthusiasm, the same childishness, you can say, the same maturity, you can say. As an architect, what contribution he has done for the country in terms of impact, not just making a few iconic buildings, creating communities, creating towns, creating spaces for people to live, work and enjoy and study. I mean, this contribution is not really appreciated because of the culture he has brought in, the drive he has brought in for this in his profession. I would say the real success of him is at the end user, at the customer level, and that is really what we should admire him for. I don't see any other professional ready to tear up whatever was thought of in the last 1 month, scrap it completely and start afresh with a new idea and look at a thing with a different perspective. He's ready to rework and rework again and again, which is the only real way one can improve, one can move ahead, one can get better. So Hafeez is all about getting better and better and making things more and more wonderful. I don't see him slowing down. I see him continuing to improve. I see him continuing to come up with fresh ideas. I wish Hafeez, his team, his entire team, his family, his wife, his children, his extended family, whom he's also very close with and whom I also got close with in all the years of association with him. I wish them all a very happy and healthy life. I wish that all my lifetime I will be able to continue working with them, meeting them and enjoying my life with them. Thank you.
Chalo, good.
Great.
Chalo.
You have a dream that every Indian should own a house, but in a city like Mumbai, where there is so much of diversity in the pricing, and it's a metropolis, maybe the most expensive city in top 5 cities in the world, how does a common man find his own economical house in a city like Mumbai?
See, Mumbai, the way it is a result of what kind of laws that we have made for so many years. Now, Mumbai is an island. If you look at it, when it was established, say, so many hundreds of years back, for a house or for anything, the first thing is land. Now, you look at it that Mumbai was first
An island,
islands. You reclaimed it, and you got some more land. And every few years, a new stock of land came about. Now, once we stopped doing that, for some reason or the other, it was that reclamation was considered to be bad. See, nothing is bad. Okay? It's the way you look at it.
True.
Okay. You do it in the right way and for the right purpose, then it is not bad. But you do it for the wrong purpose, then it is bad. So we stopped doing that. So the land quantum became restricted. And people started going further and further and further and further. And then, at that time there was only one CBD that was at Fountain. People used to come and go. And that was one of the reasons. Okay. Then, small houses. I remember when I used to be designing, or means working on buildings in Kaf Parade, you could not make smaller houses. The law said that you'll make only this. Not only that, when you wanted to give a small servant's room also, the servant's room also area had to be so much.
Correct.
Which was not affordable. So we virtually made it impossible for anybody who's coming to Mumbai and settling down to get a house. You could not get house on rent. It was Rent Act. You could not buy because there were no bank loans or nothing. Because when you used to buy houses at that time, there was so much of money had to be paid in cash.
True.
So, what happened with that? So you made such laws. So people had to live in unorganized manner. And that's how the slums started coming up. So slums, nobody liked to stay in a slum, but
They have no choice.
yeah, they have no choice. The people are coming over here for a job. The people are coming here for education and whatever it is. And you can't get a house. You can't get it on rent. You can't buy it. So the slums came about.
True.
And now the slums have come about. The statistics shows that every second person in Mumbai stays in a slum.
True.
Because he cannot afford that kind of a price. So now, how to give an affordable house? Now, mind you, a few years back, not few, about a decade back, we started the slum redevelopment scheme. At that time, when Shiv Sena was in power, and Mr. Suresh Dada was the housing minister, I had gone to him and I said, sir.
From Jalgaon.
Yeah. So I said that, sir, I have an idea by which we can eradicate slums. He heard me. He took me to Bala Sahib, and Bala Sahib said, yes, we should do that. And that's how the Shiv Shahi Krapal scheme came about. Unfortunately, they lost after about 4 or 5 months, and it became the slum redevelopment scheme. It was going fine. But now that also, the influx of people and what you're building is very, very slow. So we have come up with a new scheme. And what is that new scheme? See, cement price is one, steel price is one, labor is one. Now I can't do anything for that. I can say to government, don't charge taxes for that. They'll say,
That's not possible. Yeah.
That's not possible.
That's not possible.
So we studied all the houses, means all the slums of Mumbai. And today, looking at it, that we have so many thousands of acres of land which is occupied by slums.
True.
I went to the Honorable Prime Minister and showed him a scheme. And I said, sir, there are so many government plots which are vacant and lying vacant for years and years and years. Nobody is doing anything on it. Why can we not take that land, house the slum people over there? So the land cost is completely gone, mind you.
True.
Today, whatever you have, any house is the price of land, price of construction, and the profit. And the profit, you may say, a lot of people say, oh, humongous profit for builders and all that. I don't think so. The amount of trouble that you have to go through getting permissions and going through, you don't know what you think you have to go through. If I take off the land price, then the prices comes down. Then they will say, oh, the government land is not for free. But already, the land is occupied by the slums. In one part of a government land, I can house 3 parts of slum land. So, like say, 3 parts of slum land has gone on 1 part of government land. That same 1 part of government land, I will give it when that slum gets cleared.
Correct.
Still 2 parts are left.
True.
1 part you give it, who's financed that slum, still 1 part is left. That you should do it for social housing for future. That is how you will meet the requirement of economic housing, which is the most needed thing.
True.
Today, we talk about infrastructure, we talk about roads, we talk about power. Yes, our country from where to where, we have done all that. But we haven't tackled the problem of giving affordable house to every Indian.
True.
And that is the biggest infrastructure. And if you do not do it, we may reach 5 trillion, 10 trillion, 20 trillion. If you are not able to house all our people, where are we?
True.
Out of 1.3 billion, how many people are still without houses and how many people are still staying in slums?
True.
30% of people in India are staying in slums. That is only the slums. How many are staying in dilapidated buildings? How many are staying in buildings with one room, and they have to stand in a queue to go to the toilet?
True. True.
Now, this 1.3 billion people, you want to be a superpower, you want to be the best country in the world. That is my aim. That is my wish. And I hope that that is everybody's wish. Okay? If they don't have a proper house, they have to stand in the queue to go to toilet. They don't get proper water. How many hours they are wasting?
True. 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 True.
So, if all these 1.3 billion people start working from morning till evening, have leisure time, have everything, then where we would be.
True. But sir, when we are talking about this kind of situation, do you think it also affects a mental state of mind? Does it bring any kind of frustration where they have to live in compromised situations, when especially people living in slums or smaller apartments?
See, there are I can't say advantages. There are lots and lots of disadvantages. But when a person is coming from, say, far off place where he's got no scope of a job, no scope of anything, he's coming to Mumbai, maybe he's staying in a small house, but he gets a job, he starts earning. He's much, much happier.
True.
Much, much happier. So, I don't see, yes, look at a lot of successful people who have come 30 years, 40 years from a small town. They were all staying in a one-room kitchen. I was staying in a one-room kitchen with my mother. Worked hard, then bought a flat, then bought a bigger flat. We are happy. And when I was staying in a small flat also, a one-room kitchen, I was happy.
You were happy.
I was working. I could dream. Mumbai is a place where they allow you to think big. And dream.
Yeah.
So nobody is unhappy, provided he's working, he's seeing the sky.
So that's why we call it the city of dreams.
Yes.
Yeah. Hafeez sir, you've taken continuous efforts to develop Dharavi, and finally it's happening. Do you feel happy about it?
The Adani Group has been
Yes.
selected. I am very, very happy that they have selected such a large group to do this kind of a mammoth job. It's not an easy job. I have been working on Dharavi for the past 20, 25 years.
True.
For several people, and every time it never was financially viable. We were able to get the first land from the railways so that you could rehouse them, and then, so it is with a great effort and with all the other consultants together and everything, we will definitely, along with a client like
Adani.
will make it a project which everyone will be proud of. You know, mind you, I would say that it is my dream, and it is a dream of the client and all other consultants to give a scheme which is better than the best of the best housing projects in Mumbai.
Sir, while we are talking with you, one thing what I have observed is he's so passionate while he's talking about his work, his project. And I think this passion is one thing which has kept him still relevant, and that really translates and says a lot about him. So it's commendable. Sir, you are an inspiration to everyone, and we have our upcoming generation sitting here in front of us. So can we take a few questions that they have to ask you?
Sure.
So who's going first? Please go ahead.
Hello sir, what is your ideology about architecture?
I said it, but I'll repeat it for you. As an architect, I feel that I should satisfy and I should be a help to anybody who comes to me for work, or say a person comes to me, wants to build his own house. So I should just not say that, oh, build it like this only. I should ask him, oh, what kind of a house he likes, what is the budget, how big is the site, what, all those conditions. After that, I should suggest him. I'll give you an example. I hope you have time for them. One client came to me, and is still my client. And this is in, I think, 80s, when we had the land ceiling. I don't think you guys know what is the land ceiling. The land ceiling was a law by which you cannot make houses more than 40 square meter and 80 square meter. So this plot, he had the law of 80 square meter. Now, he's a Marwadi client. Marwadis are very good with figures, and
Yeah.
so he came to me, Hafeez, 80 square meter का flat करने का है, ऐसा हाँ करेगा हाँ कीर्ति his name is कीर्ति करेगा. तो then he said, but boss, राजा used to call me राजा. मेरे को ये sizes flat room का sizes ये चाहिए. तो he gave me room size. 10 by 14 is my bedroom size. 20 by 20 is my living room size. I said, हाँ करेगा. Then, he said, अच्छा, Hafeez, मैं कल आता हूँ. Now, he's given me the job today afternoon. And he said, मैं कल आता हूँ. I said, हाँ. Then by the time he was leaving, I just made some calculation. I said, Kirti, if I give this bedroom size 10 by 14 and living 20 by 20, where is my other area? So he kept on saying, अरे राजा, दिमाग लगाना हो जाएगा. But how can I beat arithmetic? I can't beat arithmetic.
He was asking you to figure out a jugaad.
So I'm thinking in my mind, crazy man, how can I beat arithmetic? And he's saying, अरे राजा, तू दिमाग लगाना हो जाएगा तेरे से. Mind you, what I did, you must have seen Meghmalar. The edges are round, rectangle, and then I made edges round. This triangle is gone, that triangle is gone. Okay? But I'm giving him room size 10 by 14 instead of 140. Now it's less. I made 20 by 20 room, and I cut the whole room on the side, cut it off and put a balcony. The balcony is not in a carpet area of that land ceiling. So 20 by 20 living room, again 1/4 of the area gone. And I was able to give him that design. Mind you, when that design came about, okay, it was a rage, and he sold fatafat. Now that is my policy. How to satisfy, and not only satisfy client, but how to satisfy a need.
True.
The same way, how we came up with double wall concept. It was a need. Buildings were leaking. I came up with a double wall concept, and with that, the elevation, with that. So that is my philosophy. Satisfy the need and the purpose.
Anyone next? Who's taking the next question?
Hello, sir. I'm Vaidesh Shinde, working under your firm. So, I would like to ask you, what is your take on traffic in Mumbai?
For Mumbai traffic, okay. See, it's like an old man. Veins are getting choked. So what does he do? He gets a bypass. Now, in a way, we are very, very lucky that Mumbai is like an island. It's an island. It's, something like 25 kilometers to the narrowest. It gets still narrow. Then it gets 30, 40, and it's about 70 or 80. Now, we are making right now a West Side Freeway, which was proposed, God knows how many years back. I had also proposed it with a complete green belt, but now the green belt is gone. But anyway, it is coming. We have the East Side Freeway also is coming. If we create a complete loop, a round loop, with every, say, 5 kilometers or 6 kilometers east-west connection, with this complete loop, that will be, I would say, a desired alternative. And that we are getting to that. Now with that also, we just don't need, you're saying about traffic, it's all kind of traffic, okay? That will be okay for as far as the vehicular traffic is concerned. We should invest quite a lot into underground tubes, mass transit. That will reduce your vehicular traffic. And in vehicular traffic also, we may not be having everywhere that we can create a loop, then go underground, create tunnels, and we can easily solve the problem. There's no hassle.
Sir, we have a very special guest with us, and this interview, this episode is incomplete without her. So, I would like to hereby call upon Sir's wife, Mrs. Pearl Contractor. Please come. Ma'am, first of all, thank you so much. I am really grateful because this episode wouldn't have been possible without your cooperation. Really thank you.
Most welcome.
So, ma'am, I don't know whether a lot of people over here know this or not. How did you meet Sir? Was this an arranged marriage, or how was your first meeting? Do you remember your first meeting with Sir?
Well, there were, I guess, multiple first meetings. Once for a job.
Okay.
I think the very first time a friend of mine took me over. I'd come back from studying and needed a job. So I went to the office, and at that time, I don't think he was keen on hiring female staff.
No,
Okay.
we all were, I think, pretty young. And I think about 15 or 10, and none of us were married. And if we had a girl, the whole atmosphere in the office would go, nobody will be working. So it was my policy not to have any girls.
Okay.
So
Anyway, yeah, so that first meeting kind of ended right there. And then somewhere later, I think the Seawind building was being made, and at that time he was looking for people who would help with that. But I had already started working in another organization, and I didn't feel that I wanted to do that line of work. So that meeting was another first. And then the final one was at Sharma Huja, where I was working at the time. And he came in with a client. And I guess the time was right. And, yeah, so after that, we started meeting in a more formal kind of way. And yeah, it proceeded after that.
Okay. So it was a love marriage.
Yes.
Yeah. So if I may dare to ask, who asked for the big question first? If I may dare to ask. You did.
No, it's all these things are all.
He is truly a king in every department. So, sir and ma'am, when we are talking about family, we have a few AVs that we would like to show you. And let's see what they have to say about you
Sure.
as a person.
Very good. Let's see.
Hello, I am Rajiv Trehan. I've been at Hafeez Contractor from the year 1990. To be honest, when I joined this firm, my intent was just to work for a few months, get some experience and then get going. But the way he treated me, the way he was never a boss. He was in fact like a mentor, and we always used to work together. And he made me feel so comfortable. I think that's the reason of my journey of so many years at Architect Hafeez Contractor. He's a great man. He's a great architect that everybody knows, but he's also a great human being. And that is the reason I think that we click so well, and I've been here for so long. He's always full of infinite amount of energy, and he's excited about an idea, and he just doesn't give it up till he's reached that level of perfection, or till the client is satisfied with the solution. And that is a trait which he's never given up on all these years of working. He's always at it and at it and at it. And if an idea doesn't work, he starts afresh. And I think that's what makes him so dear to his clients also. So at his age also, I would say he's still like a young boy. So I wish him many more years of work and happy, healthy life. And I think like there's a phrase that 18 till I die. I think it's true for him. So all the best to him.
मेरा नाम अर्जुन भुजबल है. मैं हफीज सर के साथ लास्ट 38 ईयर से ऑफिस में काम करता हूँ एज ए एडमिन करके. साहब के बारे में कहना है तो इतनी मेहनत मैंने उनकी देखी है, और आज इतना बड़ा सर का नाम हुआ है. हम बहुत खुश हैं उनके साथ में. आज उनको पद्म भूषण मिला है. सर हमेशा सबके लिए हेल्पफुल है. लास्ट ईयर हम लोग का एक फंक्शन हुआ जो हमारे कंपनी को 40 साल पूरे हुए. तो वो टाइम में जो मेरा सर के हाथ से सम्मान हुआ, वो सम्मान मेरे ज़िंदगी का जीवन सफल हो गया कि सर के हाथ से मुझे सम्मान मिला. और बाद में मेरे हाथ से सर का सम्मान बोले तो मैं वहाँ पे बोलने का मेरे लफ्ज़ निकल नहीं रहे थे. मुझे इतना फील महसूस हुआ कि आज सर का सम्मान मेरे को करने को मिला. सर के बारे में मैं यही कहूँ कि भगवान उनको बहुत लंबी उम्र दे और बहुत अच्छे से रहे, उनकी तबीयत बहुत बढ़िया रहे, यही मैं शुभकामनाएं दूँगा.
Hi, so first and foremost, my journey with Hafeez Contractor starts with him being my uncle, which very few people know. and something I don't talk about a lot. Hafeez Contractor is like a super fast express train. He's always busy. He always wants to do new things, and you kind of have to go with the flow. I remember even 15 years ago, before the advent of computers and internet, we used to work till 3 a.m. in the office. We had to roll up all the drawings and meet Mr. Contractor at 5 a.m. at the airport to deliver the drawings to him, because he used to fly to Delhi. And he would want us back in the office after delivering the drawings, because when his meeting would start in Delhi, he used to send sketches by fax, and we had to change the plans in the office and fax them back, because his motto of travel was he always wanted to solve the problem or the design while he was there with the client. But his mind would move so quickly that he would understand a problem, he would know the solution up front, and then he would try and solve it. So he used to send it back to us, and I suppose in some sense that philosophy trickled down to the whole organization as a whole. And today, if you see, most people, I would say 99% of people in the office work for him out of the love for working for him. The day he got his Padma Bhushan feels like yesterday. I still remember it was the big talk in the office. And now, the most important project that at least for him and for the office seems to be the redevelopment of Dharavi. So whenever you ask Hafeez Contractor about travel, or some client calls saying make a program, he'll always grumble, you have to travel tomorrow to Bangalore, Friday to Delhi. But he loves traveling, because when he's traveling, he's in a different space of mind. He's, taking care of the driver. He's worried, has the driver had lunch when we've had lunch? He looks at the exterior landscape. He's observing the dog on the street, how he's sitting so relaxed. And I think a lot of his personality and his ability to design and connect at any level in the country comes from his, avid love for traveling. So never get fooled when he tells you that he doesn't want to travel, because while his mind doesn't want to travel, his heart is dying to travel. Hafeez is so passionate about change. So when he sees the fabric of the cities, how the cities have been encroached, he constantly has this thought process of how he can change the urban landscape. Housing for all is something which is so dear to his heart. The amount of time he spends on projects that he doesn't even have contracts for, or stuff that nobody has even called him to ask him to do, he's just doing it out of his own passion, because he truly believes he can make that change. And it's now later in his career that he's getting to participate and in some sense lead some of those projects that can make change at a national scale. So with this, I truly wish that he achieves, becomes the instrument of change that he wants to be. I truly wish that he sees that change happening in front of his own eyes, and he loves the fact that it could actually happen the way he imagined it to happen. I wish him a long life, a healthy life. He's our rock star. He's fighting fit every day at work, and he's probably the youngest guy in the office.
This segment was powered by Tostem, framing the beauty of living. One last question. Sir was awarded the Padma Bhushan by the government of India. How did you all got that notification, and what was the atmosphere in office and house? Can you please share it with our audience? It's a great moment for the entire country.
It was just so thrilling that I, for a long time, didn't really understand what it was. And we were understanding whether it was Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, the whole hierarchy of it. And it took a while to sink in and to understand that, the country had given him one of the highest awards, for which obviously I was super, super proud, and it was so well deserved, honestly. And yeah, there was celebrations all over in the office, and fabulous moment.
So how were your feelings when you got to know?
I was very, very happy, but it also suddenly makes you feel that the country has given you that kind of a honor. You have to be much, much, much more responsible, much, much more wanting to do what you have been doing further. And I feel that, and I would say that to each and every educated young man and woman, that whatever your country is or whatever it was, today it's in a much, much better place and much more. Just to leave for a better place and leave your country, that's not good. Work in your country, work for your country, and defeat others.
Okay.
That's what should be each and everyone's aim.
True.
And I think, and we are showing it to the world. We're showing it to the world. And what I told you about that American consulate guy is true. And we should be very, very national. We should think about our nation. We should think about we as Indians. And that is what should be with everyone. And I'm very happy that the country has honored me.
It was definitely a proud moment for all of us.
Thank you.
So ma'am and sir, we would really like to thank you for coming here. And we have a small moment where we would like to have a picture with you. It's a small token of frame. Can we get the portrait, please? Thank you so much. We'll just have a small picture with you, sir. Please. Ma'am, please join us. Thank you so much. It's a great honor.
Thank you, everybody.
So this photography moment was brought to you by Demore by Q-Tone. Luxury windows and tiles for your homes. So दोस्तों, ये थे हमारे हफीज कॉन्ट्रैक्टर। हफीज सर से मिलके आज हमने एक बात तो पक्की सीखी है कि जिंदगी में कामयाबी हमें चुनेगी या हम कामयाबी को, इसका फैसला भी हमारे ही हाथों में होता है। क्योंकि यकीन मानिए, जिंदगी में मुश्किलों के होने से ही हमारे आगे बढ़ने का वजूद समझ आता है। We would like to thank our title sponsor Tostem, our powered by sponsor Demore by Q-Tone and our associate sponsor Vox. So दोस्तों, जल्दी मिलेंगे अगले हफ्ते हमारे शो के इस नए एपिसोड में। तब तक देखते रहिए लेजेंड्स ऑफ डिजाइन। हाय, आई हैव एन अनाउंसमेंट। दोस्तों, आज के इस सोशल मीडिया के दौर में आइए हम आपको लेके चलते हैं उस जमाने में जहां पे कम्युनिकेशन होता था लेटर्स से। वॉक्स प्रेजेंट्स लेटर टू लेजेंड्स। आप अपने फेवरेट लेजेंड्स को इस एड्रेस पर खत लिखिए एंड वी विल इंश्योर कि आपके लेटर्स हम आपके फेवरेट लेजेंड्स तक पहुंचा देंगे।